Hi guys, welcome back for another video. I know I haven't done a video in like forever, and I figured I was kind of in the mood. I'm on my way to the gym because I have gained an awful lot of weight in the last year or so. Mainly because, well, I like to eat anyway, but I do like to exercise. In fact, I actually enjoy exercising. My thing has always been that I struggle with food, and I just can't stop eating. Anyway, yeah, so I gained a lot of weight, and I'm now trying to actually do something about it and get it off. I'm hopefully trying to lose about 30 pounds in the next couple of months, or maybe 3 months, or whatever, however long it takes. That's my aim at the moment, because that's how much weight I have put on. Yeah, so the last time that you saw me do a video, this space was in a complete mess. I'm trying to keep my voice down because Ross is sleeping. We are on the opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of wake up time. I'm a kind of like wake up at 5:30 kind of person, and then I'm done like at about 6. Like my mental capacity is just gone at about 6, so I'm normally in bed like quite early, whereas he's kind of like awake throughout most of the night, and wakes up really late as well. So anyway, yeah, so this whole place was just like a complete tip when I last did a video, and I didn't really want to document all of my misery and pain that I was going through as a result of the refurbishment of this house. It was a complete nightmare, and I don't like to, I don't know, bring other people down with me, which is why I didn't make a lot of videos. And also I was stressed out with work, and as you might have been aware, we were living with Ross's parents for the 7 months that it took to get this house to the state that it is. And as much as I love my in-laws, you kind of want your own personal space, and especially when you're going through quite a lot of difficulties with the builders, financially, mentally, emotionally, the whole thing is quite hard when you don't have your own space to come back to and just like really chill. Anyway, so basically what happened was the builders, we ended up with like nearly four sets of builders in the end over the 7-month period, because the first builder was just like a cowboy builder. He didn't know what he was doing, and he basically ruined our house. So when you saw it, it was we'd taken down the wall here between these two rooms. So if I put this back a little bit so you can see, there was a wall that runs through these two rooms. So this here was basically where the wall was, and that's been taken down, and the house then has to be supported by what they call RSJs, which are these steel beams that hold up the house and take the load of the house. So up here is the beam that was needed to hold up the house and make it structurally sound. And the person that we'd originally hired to do that work, basically, as I said, he didn't know what he was doing. And then also we paid somebody on his recommendation for these steel beams, and that guy never turned up. We've never seen the steel beams, and neither have we seen our money. So that we then had to hire another set of builders to actually do the work, and they did a good job. However, they overcharged us, because obviously when they show up and they can see that we're in a bit of a bind, they take the piss and effectively charged us double the amount. But we were so desperate for somebody at the time, and it was also around Christmas as well, and or Christmas, January sort of time, when a lot of builders had already secured other work. So as much as I resent having to pay as much as we did, well, eventually we got it done. And then so we were then supposed to still continue to work with the first builder, but then sort of things we fell out with that builder, because he had effectively cost us money by telling us to pay somebody who was in effect a crook. So I'm still pursuing that situation through small claims court. Then what else happened? Then we found another set of builders to do some work, and they were supposed to just start on the bathroom, and we said, let's just see how you do on the bathroom. It's a tiny bathroom. It's no more than 2 meters by 3, I would say, roughly. and they just took forever to do anything because they were trying to fit it in with multiple other jobs. So that, you know, they ended up taking nearly 2.5 months to do a job that should have been like no more than a week's worth of work, because the first builder had done the majority of the work. So we had to get rid of them, and then I called a gas engineer to come and look at you know, installing the cooker. That gas engineer sort of spotted that some of the electrics weren't quite up to code, and he said, you know, really you should get somebody to look at the electrics. So we then called an electrician. That electrician came round and said basically that the first guy who had done the electrics, it's a long story, but basically the end result is that the electrics were not safe and that we would need to rewire the whole house. So we had to spend money again to rewire the whole house. So once we got that done, through the electrician, he recommended some builders that he knew who could finish off the house. So that's how we've ended up with a house that's completed. I'm not 100% happy, because even though those builders were, you know, they were good workers, the attention to detail is not quite there. So there are some bits and pieces that I'm really not happy about. And, you know, at this stage, 7 months in, I just wanted them out. I wanted all the builders gone. I just wanted everybody just, you know, so long as it was habitable, I wanted them gone. And then I would just pay somebody else at some point in time to just, you know, touch up the bits and pieces that I wasn't happy about. So for example, here in the kitchen, you know, these units were supposed to have been cut to fit exactly within the little space that is here. You know, but that just never happened. And these, like, these are supposed to be cut so that it's level with this, but that just never happened. And, you know, so many other things that I just won't even go into the detail of. Sorry, excuse me, it's still early in the morning, so I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. By the way, my mother-in-law got me these a set of these cups. I really like them. Yeah, so we finally moved in about 5 months ago, roughly, or just a little over 5 months ago, and we moved in with absolutely no furniture. All we had was some deck chairs that we were sitting on and our television. So every evening we'd come home and we'd be sitting on these deck chairs and eating dinner off our laps, which, you know, well, given everything that we've been through, that was the least of our concerns. And, you know, we didn't have a sofa or anything. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but in the last video, when we moved out of the flat that we were living in, that was actually my flat that I bought nearly 8 years ago now. And when Ross and I got married, he moved in with me, but he also had his own place, which he rented out and moved in with me. So when we, you know, got married, we decided to buy our own house together. And so I left all the furniture. Obviously, he'd left all his furniture in his flat and in his house, and I left all the furniture in the flat that we vacated. So, you know, so that the tenant would have furniture. So as a result, we had no furniture because of the cost escalating for the refurbishment of this house. It's in effect, our budget in effect doubled. So you can imagine, you know, not anticipating having to spend double the amount that you'd intended because of all of the multiple issues that we had with all the builders. It's basically like the wild, wild west of the building trade that we came across. But anyway, bottom line is that we're done, and you know, we're settled in now. We're slowly starting to make the house look like a home. A couple of things you might notice that I don't really like is these purple chimney breasts over there. There's 2 of them, and I don't like them, but because when we were doing our whole refurbishment, and, you know, I just wanted everything to be plain and white, but Ross thought that the plain white would just be too boring, so he said that we should you know, have some colour. So, and I didn't want to be that typical female that doesn't allow a man to have any say in the way a house looks. So I said, all right, let's go and pick a colour. And we both do like the colour purple, but I think for me, purple is kind of like an accent colour. So, you know, like my kettle and my toaster, for example, is purple. And then, like, you know, the splashback is purple. you know, cushions and things like that, or maybe like little ornaments that are purple, is okay by me. But anything that's really bold, like, you know, the colour of these walls here, you know, just a bit too much. So when it went on the wall, I was not happy about it, and I, you know, said, can we paint it over? But he really likes this colour, and so now we're stuck with it, and I don't really want to have an argument about it. So maybe one day I'll be able to persuade him to change the colour. But yeah, and then another thing that I wasn't happy about, and this is a complaint about B&Q, which is it's basically our version of Home Depot if you're not in the UK, and I took a sample of Dulux paint that I wanted, which was like a grey colour, and took it to B&Q and discovered that B&Q are not authorised to mix up Dulux paints, but they use this other company called Vespa or Vaspa, or I can't remember, something, it starts with a V, and the colour, it looked like it matched when they opened up the tin after they'd matched it to the Dulux colour, but when it went on the walls, it's actually like an ice blue. So I'm really not happy about that. And it was like, obviously by the time it was on the wall, I was like, you know, and I came back from work to look at the work that the painters had done. You know, it was just like the wrong colour, and I wanted to again paint it over, but lack of budget and all the rest of that just made it impossible. So sort of got a mixture of like these purple and like a sort of, I don't know, it's like an icy blue, which anyway, bottom line is we're settled, and you know, we're slowly, you know, making our house home. Yeah, so I don't know what, I don't really want to take you upstairs, but what a couple of things. I just want to, you know, I'll give you a sort of like a bit of a tour of this living room here. So this is a living room. It's not a massive house, but you know, it will do for the two of us. And then, you know, we got the sofa. Oh, one thing I really, really like that I wanted to show you. The camera's not very, okay. Right, over here is a, is it like a coffee table, or like, I don't know, no, it's not big enough to be a coffee table. It's like a stool. It's solid wood. Solid oak. That's one of my favourite things in this house. It got it from TK Maxx, and I was trying to find the second one of these, but you know, with TK Maxx, you know, you buy one thing and you can never really find a pair. So I've been sort of like scouring the internet to try and find it. And then coming out here, this is our garden. So nothing really exciting. The garden really does need a lot of work out here. So you can see, you know, the concrete needs you know, fixing over, and it's really quite not attractive, but that's going to be like a project later on in the future. But you know, for the most part, you know, I'm fairly happy with my house, and yeah, so I'm gonna head off to the gym now, like I said. But if you guys have any questions or comments or whatever, then let me know and I will try and reply. Sorry for my absence and sorry for my appearance, but I figured if I don't do the video now, I'll never do it. Otherwise I'll spend too much time thinking about what I look like and all the other things that stop me from ending up making a video. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.